Well, we have some very big announcements from the IRS, and it is coming at the best time possible, simply because the 2025 tax filing season has already started. It started on Monday, January 27th. Now, I'm going to break down what's going on, but there's some scary statistics that you need to understand, especially when it comes to the amount of Americans that rely on their federal income tax returns just to get by. And all this is happening as the Trump administration is now imposing tariffs of 25% on products coming from Canada and Mexico, an additional 10% coming from China. So again, I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on, and give you some updates as to what we can expect moving forward. So, all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So here's what you need to know. Look at this right here. It says half of millennials depend on a tax refund to make ends meet. It says the 2025 tax filing season kicks off on Monday, January 27th, and the average federal tax return for 2024 was $3,138. Now let me ask you this. How many of you would see your lives change with additional $3,100 in the bank? Now, that may not seem like a lot of money to many, but it is a lot of money. That is the amount of money that is required to pay your bills, right? Keep a roof over your head, put food on the table, keep up with your medications and things just to keep you alive. But I want to show you something. Everybody right now is concerned, and they're concerned because of the tariffs that the Trump administration has just placed on Canada, Mexico, and China. But will this mean higher inflation? Well, that's what we're going to discuss. Because yes, it is going to mean higher inflation, but it's going to be transitory. I know we heard that before, but this is the problem. The Trump administration has to find a way to pay for additional tax cuts. This is one of their ways, is if they can bring in additional revenue through tariffs on other countries. And they're not stopping here. President Trump just the other day announced that he is considering tariffs on the EU. He's also, and these could come in the next 2 weeks, he's also considering tariffs of 100% on the BRICS nations. This includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those nations plus more could also receive a 100% tariff. That would be devastating to them, but it would also hurt the American people. But here's what you need to understand. Look at this right here. It says, in a recent Credit Karma survey, it found that 37% of taxpayers rely on their refund to get by. 37% of American taxpayers rely on their refund. That means if we have 10 people watching this, almost 4 of them are relying on this federal tax return just to pay their bills, okay? To pay their rent or their mortgage, pay a car payment, their insurance, medications, food, utilities, and so much more. Now, I want to give you some numbers here. Last year, the United States government issued 105 million federal tax returns. That totaled $330 billion in refunds. That was a big number. The average federal tax return, again, was $3,138. But what is it going to be this year? Well, we don't know yet. But I want to show you something. Okay, I want to give you some more numbers. Many people are looking at this federal income tax return to do something like put a down payment on a home, to help buy a car, right? They're going to use this federal income tax return as a way to bring down payments because of interest rates being so high. Well, one of the biggest questions I've been asked, especially over the last 4 or 5 days, is, well, if I file today, when am I going to get my return? That's the big question everybody wants to know. Well, let's look at that. there's a thing right here. It's from Newsweek. This is the IRS refund tracker. It says the estimated refund time based on e-filing date. Now, I want to be very clear on something. Many people were saying that the IRS is going to delay returns, and they could if you see your refund gets flagged and it has to go through a manual reviewer. If it does, that is the case where you could see your refund get delayed by a week, 2 weeks, maybe more than a month. And it's because of the Trump administration putting in an IRS hiring freeze. But look at this right here. It says, no, Trump's IRS hiring freeze won't slow down your taxes, but the way you file might. Here's the thing. It could slow your taxes down if many people are hit with a flag. If their tax return is flagged and we have a really long queue, then yes, it could delay your refund simply because we're not hiring any more IRS agents. And there's actually a possibility that 80,000 agents could actually just go away. Or as President Trump said, he could actually send them down to the U.S.-Mexico border and they can help with immigration and customs. But we'll see. But let's look at the dates because I know this is what everybody wants to know. So after filing your return, this is when you file your e-file, okay? Now, we're just going to go from this upcoming week, okay? Or we'll just go from here. Today it's February 1st, so happy February. But if you file anywhere between January 29th and February 2nd, your expected return date, if it's a direct deposit, not a check, would be February 9th. If it's February 5th through the 9th, you would get yours on roughly February 16th. Okay, again, they send them all out about the same time. Okay, it's not like, oh, if I send mine out on February 7th, I'm going to get mine on February 14th. No, they're all going to come out pretty much on these dates. Okay, so if you file by the 16th, you'll get yours 7 days later. Again, it's a week. On the 23rd. You file on the 23rd, you get yours on March 1st. March 1st, you'll get yours on March 8th, so on and so forth. The tax deadline is April 15th, just so you are aware. Now, I know for most people, they're not too concerned about the deadline because they're going to file likely in these few weeks. Okay? The majority of Americans are going to file in the first 5 to 6 weeks of this being open. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because you're going to get your refund earlier, which means then you can use that money and you can put it towards a car payment. You can put it towards a down payment of a house. You can pay for utilities, pay off credit cards, buy food, right? This is stuff that people do every single day. Now, I want to leave you with one thing. Right now, many Americans are extremely concerned. And they're concerned because we don't know what's going to happen regarding these tariffs. We don't know if we're going to see additional inflation. We don't know. But it doesn't stop there. Many Americans are also concerned that we are seeing inflation go up. Yes, interest rates are paused. They didn't go down this past week. That was concerning, and that was something that the Trump administration really wanted the Federal Reserve to do. But not only that, food prices keep getting more expensive. These tariffs are going to cause prices to go up as well. As we see prices for goods go up, we're going to see prices for labor go up as well. And this goes across all industries. This also means fast food will likely get more expensive, transportation will get more expensive, and everything else in between. But with that said, if you do not absolutely need your money from the IRS and from your federal tax return, save it. Now, I'm not saying wait until the very last day on April 15th and file your return, okay, just so that you don't spend it. What I'm saying is get it and save it. Make sure it's there for a rainy day. Make sure it's there in case food prices go up exponentially. Just make sure you have some money set aside because, again, we don't know what the next 3 to 6 months are going to look like. All we know is the Trump administration has vowed for massive change. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. That's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.